Computer. On. I like can only reach half the things because cat. What are you doing? What are you doing? What? Okay. Okay, we got cat. Yes. Hi. Hold on. I can't hear anything. Feels weird. Yes, you are kitty. Yes, yes, hi. Hoi. Hoi. Just rename this kitty stream. Kitty just wants to be warm. Warm kitty. Right? You warm now? You warm? He's just purring. Oh, thank you, Blur to Blow. Oh, there. Okay, I gotta do stuff. I gotta do stuff. You okay? I gotta do stuff now. Okay, I'm gonna do the spin method for getting you down. All right, there it goes. Spin. Okay, there it goes. I hate pushing him off, so if you spin around, he gets a little. He goes, "Whoa!" Kitty. Kitty gets bored. Actually, I had because from last time I had the spinny thing, and I didn't actually set this up. And so I had it just sitting on my desk, and so I didn't know the cat was behind my monitor, and suddenly out of nowhere, it just goes flying away, made me jump. Stupid cat. I should make sure he's not getting into stuff. Oh, he's sitting there. Sometimes you push him off or get rid of him, and he's out for revenge then. Anyway, make sure I'm actually using the TV for lighting, so now it's is this going to be too much or what? So that's fine. Okay. I think we're good on everything else. So, welcome. Happy Friday. I didn't forget anything today. I got super distracted by cat, and then when I got home, I was like, okay, I gotta call my mom. It's her birthday today, and then 10 minutes before the stream is when it clicked again, and I was like, oh, I got a call. So, but she was busy. Had to go run and do something too, so it worked out well. Yeah, I think the music volume's right. Yes, it is Friday. I actually have to work a bit this weekend, but that's fine. I get overtime. Not right now. Oh, actually, I need to put... Oh, I guess this is red. It's started. Nope, that is... Is that extra loud on stream or just me? Oh, that is pretty loud. Hold on. Can I change the volume here? No, I can't. What do you do for work? I remember hearing it, but I can't remember exactly. So he's like, doop, 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 and then just walk in again. Freelance 3D. Oh, okay. Maybe it was Sky. I remember somebody saying the Uber stuff, but I think that was maybe Sky. So, freelance 3D artist. Well, that sounds actually pretty fun. Do you actually make a good living off of it, or is it just kind of a or is it just starting out with it? Sometimes it's even if you don't make too much, it's about if you enjoy it, then who cares? I'd rather have that. I just had a coworker say that she was offered a she wasn't looking for another job, but she was just scraping by. You love it, yeah. I mean, really, if you enjoy what you do, then let's you can just do more of it, or like in your free time. But I had a coworker today say that she wasn't looking for a new job. She was contacted by a company that was recommended based on, or had a recommendation based on a friend of hers that worked there, and was offered like $18K more a year, and she's like, it was so much more, but she also loves where she is, so it's like, is the money more important than what you do? And now she's having that conundrum. Just want to make sure, mainly for the limbs. Well, I guess the limbs I can work on. Actually, I don't think his hands are fully. Yeah, his fingers aren't flat here. They need to be. Yeah, she said she was hesitant to bring it up at first, but I'm like, I don't care. If you have better places to be, then do it. But she said that she had a meeting with them, and like a luncheon, and they offered her a position essentially without an interview. But she said that that she just doesn't know the supervisors or anything, and was just isn't sure. So I told her to do like I did when I left my last job. I was in the same boat, so I'm looking at it like there's pros and cons to making this decision. I hated my job, but I was also comfortable, and I'd be going to a job that I knew nothing. And so I literally got to the point where I was just so imbalanced that I just wrote it down. I took a list and I said pros of moving, cons of moving, and I filled it out both, and I put point scores for each. And then at the end, I added up the numbers of like which one how did the pros outweigh the cons and whatnot, and it ended up being that it wasn't even a contest. It was a no-brainer for me to go. So that made me go from indecisive to like that, and I was like, that's visually telling me that this isn't a choice. It's what I have to do, and I don't regret it. So I miss some of the people I work with for sure, but it ended up being a better choice. Okay. I still think this transition is going to be a little weird. Yeah. Well, kind of. I think that back leg's going to have to sit longer because it kind of seems like it's just going to... I think it's going to look like it floats. We'll see. No interview because it was recommended by somebody that was already good. Like the same reason, like with my current job, my sister recommended me, and I essentially went in to talk with them, and they basically said, if you want the job, it's yours. I mean, it was kind of a half-ass interview. I still did a legitimate interview, but and like she said, it's if you already have work and you're looking for another place, you're not as much interviewing them, or they're not as much interviewing you as you're interviewing them, because it's about, you want to figure out if I'm going to leave a place I already am comfortable and like, I need to know if that's a place worthwhile of my time. And so that's why she wants a legitimate interview, which completely makes sense to me. And this does feel a little fast, but I could extend it and everything afterwards. Okay, I'm not too worried about that transition. Actually, kind of. I need to time it. But I think this might be just fast in his motion. Oh, not really. Okay, so I need, because this action should be kind of quick, I'm probably gonna keep it like this. Can't move it there because it'll blend it again. If anything, I think this might not be fast enough. This part. Yeah. That's why keyframes are awesome. Oh, actually, I'm going to do it like this. Do notice one thing, when he trips, he's kind of falling straight down. Does that look okay from the angle we're going to work with? Because I would think that he should be falling more forward, but because of how I have the keyframing set up, it's going to be difficult to readjust that. I'm going to go forward with it as it is, and I can try to adjust if I need. And actually, what I should do... I haven't saved it, so if I need to, I'll just revert the save. Yeah, no, I can see January being dead. Even just getting like a part-time side job. Sometimes it's even just good for the for the body and the soul, just to like go out like a coffee shop or something that's like a social environment that can be not, so you're not just like feeling stagnant where you are. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to speed that up. But see, this is now a nice little break. If I don't touch anything there, be good. And I do have to add a lot of secondary animation to that, so it doesn't feel so static. What are you doing, Spike? That's not appropriate. Okay, for one, I need to lock some of these as I'm doing it. So his left hand needs to be locked here when I do this, because then it will keep it in place. I'll definitely play with the fingers a little bit. But then it goes straight instead of the whole arm angling down. I can let the whole arm kind of angle there, it's fine. Getting up might be a little quick. Actually, it might be fine. This is the one I'm probably going to blend a good bit into. Okay, so I definitely have to lift that leg. I think I can make that work. That back leg is definitely going to have to stay there a little longer. Okay. So I think he actually falls at a pretty good speed. Okay, so I'm gonna take him. This is where he impacts. So I'm gonna take it from here to here. I'm gonna see if I can turn his pelvis back. Ooh, I don't like that hand though. There we go. I might be able to, let's see if I, so he hits here. Let's see if I, and he lands here, so I can't go past that. Let's see if I raise him up. That helps a little bit. Okay, so before he hits the ground, from here to here, I want to have his head go a little further back. And we'll do that. That was the right bed. Maybe just reduce the time. Maybe. I feel like he's almost should be having it so he's like, so it goes up between here and here. Maybe, but not so much. Part of the vault door in the background? Actually, yes. It was, I needed something that would rotate, and that was one that actually really worked really well, so just like jammed it in there. Okay. So here, I'm gonna have his leg here. Left foot. See if I can. Okay. Okay, when his arm goes up, before it goes up, I'm going to see if I can have it kind of jerk upwards. So that's the left shoulder. Yep, that helps. And then in there and a little bit more, I'm going to have the forearm go down. And then I want to have it peak right before landing. I'm just do standard time on that. I'm gonna have the forearm be up. Oh no, maybe not the forearm because that's gonna be painful. And then I'm gonna have it follow up very quickly with the. Let's just see if we can do all the fingers at once. I am lazy. Okay, so this is when it hits bottom. And now I want to have it go up a little bit. So we're just going to do a quick test for timing. And actually, you know what? That just might work. But when it does, I'm going to have it so that it hits right here. And then before it rests, I want to have it move in a different position. So he was falling this way. So I'm going to have... Oh, that's forearm. I'm going to do left arm. So like it bounces a little bit forward with this gravity. And actually, I might just move the whole shoulder like that. Okay, maybe not so much. Just a teeny bit. You know, the whole... I've actually... One of my favorite... Oh, this one, I guess, got a lot of stuff missing, but one of my favorite things to do is build, like, sciencey, like, areas. Because this is the full build. But I cheated a lot. Like, this is all one wall. All the pipes and everything. But that's why it's fun, because you can cheat. I like cheating. Or, I mean, this part's pretty, I put together mostly manually.
Got a brain! Woo! Now put the brain on this rocket!
So, poor Spike. Nope. Okay, there we go. You can't even see his legs, so actually that makes that a little easier. Well, I wonder if I should almost show it, because I put a lot of time into it. Oh wait, no, this is the angle. Okay, good. I was like, wait a second, I swear you could see his feet. Okay. So when he impacts, I'm gonna do his legs right now, just because I want to make sure those get done. So his back leg here goes from here to here, but obviously you don't. And actually, I should probably lock that too. So from here to here. Okay, so from here to here, he has to lift his leg. To lift the leg, he's probably going to have to lift his whole body, which does make things a little bit more difficult, but I'm going to do this in separate pieces. So we're going to lift. First, we're going to see what can we do with his leg to get it up beforehand. Actually, I could probably just go with that. And then from here to here, oh, this is probably too, that's way too short. I was thinking about having his foot go out. I think I have to have it start pulling in already. Okay. Then the other leg right here. So this is his left foot from here. I'm going to say from here to here. I'm going to say from there. It should be. I can do it from back here even. Should be locked to one position. And I'm going to say that is obviously through the blocks. I'm going to say right here. Now what I can do though is during this period, while this is still locked, I'm going to say he starts pushing off. Actually, in this bit, you probably should be even pushing, or be, oh no, probably be here. I have to find the peak. He's probably going to be pushing off quite a bit more. I can just see it with his leg. I'm going to adjust his actual leg to match, but... left thigh. Okay, should be fine for now. He's supposed to slide forward a bit. No, he should be fine. Problem is I can't really actually lift his leg here, because then he'll have both legs in the air. That makes that actually a little bit more difficult. I might try something weird. I don't think it's gonna work though. Something I got backwards. Problem with this is I have to adjust it based on other motion. So the furthest back I can go is here. Furthest ahead I can go is over there, so let's see if I can just grab it from here. First I want to find out where it matches. So I think... close. No, I went the wrong way. Almost. Actually, it should be right here. That's perfect. Okay, so this is the match. Okay. Where's the transition over there? It actually kind of works. I'll have to fix it up a little bit, but it actually looks better that way. So what I ended up doing was I just took the foot movement, patched it to matching the end part, then compressed the beginning so it was quicker, but then reduced how strong it was. So while it was a faster motion, it wasn't as much leg movement, but because his torso was moving at the same time, I had to do this to offset it by having it off or do the reverse motion. And I actually did not think that would work, but and I still don't think it's the best, but it is actually a really good starting point. So the main thing is saying that this point to this point with his foot is to stay about the same position. The back one. So we're going to offset it. So let's say between, so he lifts here, and we'll say he puts down right here. If that's the case, then from here to here, actually, I could just say that he puts down right there in general from here. So, okay, we'll do that. So he puts down right here. So at that position, I want to have his leg extended just a little bit more. I'm going to like literally stretch this, it doesn't matter, to make a match. Okay. Okay. Now from here to here, I need to make it look like it was in that position. Actually, which means I gotta go like this. I did that wrong. It's a pretty consistent motion, so let's see if we can do it this way. So from there to there, so I have to try to simulate that. So this leg need to sit further back. That doesn't need to be perfect, it just needs to be closer. Okay. So he lifts this leg. He has it up there, but not all the way, because I need to have him get to here. So I'm going to say from here to there. Let's say from here to here. I need your leg to lift. Clips a little bit there. You know what I'm going to do? I'm actually going to take his entire left thigh and just lift it up. Yeah. Hello, Skylight. Thank you very much. Hello, Pikachu. Okay, so I'm going to fix that leg now from here to here. I found like if you do end fall-offs, so like the start fast, end slow, like flatter in the middle, it tends to work really well for leg lifting. And so this we're also going to pull the thigh up because he's technically pulling his leg. It's actually looking better than I thought it was going to. Without working with IK anyway. This is still going to bug me. Is that texture error? Can you see it in here? Oh, you can. I might just say fuck it and not care though. Okay, yeah. One of the other things is when he's getting up, I was going to keep him bent down for a little bit. Didn't actually seem to do anything. Oh, mainly because what time there is. I don't think he's moving much. Kind of feels weird. Yeah, right there. That push off needs to be a bit blended more. I wonder if I can just do it. Or not blended, but like smooth or lengthened or something. Yeah, just lengthening it actually helped. Oh yeah, and I gotta get rid of this little hiccup the foot has. I think it's been pretty good. Been a long week, so I'm glad it's time to enjoy a nice weekend. It's actually the local bronies monthly meetup tomorrow. This every second Saturday. So, I'm gonna go hang out with them at the mall today, or tomorrow. Today. Because this is actually going all the way. So this is, the leg takes off right here. So from here to push off, or to land, which I'd say is right here, I actually don't actually care what the motion is, as I'm going to round it. So then I can manually do it. Yeah, Mall of America. I'm not far, but I'm not really that close either. I am Western Minneapolis, so it ends up being, it's like about a 40, not even a 40-minute drive, maybe a half hour. Yeah, because I think it takes 22 or 23 minutes from the air, or 22 or 23 miles from the airport, I believe. And it's right next to the airport, so I'm not that far. I used to be closer. I used to live in South, or about 10 minutes closer the other, but that's fine. Okay, this actually is probably melding at the wrong time. I probably should put this earlier. I'm going to lift it straight up instead of backwards a bit. And so this, I'm going to have it so that it starts with a push off. And then from here, so now I want to have it actually get ready to land. There's a little slide right there. See if I can adjust to make that work. Thing is, you think it's like super cool, but the mall has a lot of stuff in it, but the majority of it is stuff that you don't care about. Or it's stuff that places you could go closer. So like, it has a lot of interesting things inside. It has a mini putt inside, but it's expensive. It has laser tag and even go-karts, but again, expensive. It has a couple different arcades, which aren't that badly priced, but why? It has Camp, I was gonna say Camp Snoopy, but the Nickelodeon area, but it's just like a watered down theme park. I mean, it's neat to see, but I wouldn't be like as a let's go shopping there all the time thing. So no, the main benefit to it, or the main benefit to it for the group, is that because it can be a group of 30 something or more, it's a great place that a group that size can hang out without feeling that they're causing a disturbance. So I think we've only had like 1 or 2 issues with somebody calling to complain. It was because we chose an area to sit down, and some of the people were playing card games, and one of the stores called to complain that we were like essentially loitering. But we weren't even near the store. We were across the hall from it, like all the way. You have to go all the way around and all the way to see it. And, yeah. Other than that, it works pretty good. Yeah, I guess you could call it tourist trap tax, but I mean, there are cool things. Like Underwater World is really cool, but just to go and see essentially an aquarium underground, and like the pictures that you see of Underwater World always show this like big aquarium that's above you, and it's so huge and amazing and awesome, but it's only like a teeny portion of the entire thing. It is super cool, but it makes it feel like that's the whole thing, and it's not. It's a very small portion. There are some neat things in there, but it's like $43 or something to go through for one trip. They actually laughed because I brought the big dolphin through, and they just looked at me weird, like, what do you have that for? And I got to go take it with me. So I got a couple, I think the dolphin's Twitter account, the pinned tweet, I don't think I've gotten rid of it, is the dolphin in a fishbowl, where it's like this, you can climb underneath it and climb into this little bit that's completely encased in glass and water, and I have you can see into it and look like you're floating in water, and I put the dolphin in there. No, that's for you. It's like a one-person thing. I'm pretty sure it's about 43. You can pretty easily find coupons for it, though. There's a like a tuna guy walking around in a full suit, and they're handing out coupons all the time. There's little books you can get that you can get like a good percentage off. So it's just, don't pay full price. Don't go during peak. The one thing I do want to try there that I keep forgetting about is the Flyover America, which is essentially I wouldn't call it VR. It's more than that. It's like a full experience. So it looks like they have a big like Omni Theater screen. It's not very big, but it's a screen like that. But when you're flying, they blow wind at you. If you go through a cloud, they actually spray mists of water. They have scents. The chairs and everything move. I thought that they have other things. It's kind of like was it the Indiana Jones one in Disneyland? So it's like a full experience bit, and they go through a lot of different areas around the United States. So that to me sounds pretty cool. Just haven't gotten around to it because, again, it's pretty pricey for what it is. That's a pretty good deal. Where'd you get that deal? Well, today was payday, wasn't it? I'm not actually like living paycheck to paycheck, so I'm not too worried about it. But and I'm trying to buy a place this this late spring probably, and so to ensure that I have the funds for it, I've been saving like $1,200 a month, putting it right into savings. Okay, this, I'm going to actually go down. I'm going to turn all the fingers up. Minor, but no, okay, yeah, I guess I could see that. I actually was super close. I was going to get a Samsung 46mm watch, the newer ones, and I was actually at Best Buy to do it, and I decided to change my mind. Like while I was there, I was this close to getting it, and then I was like, you know what? I wouldn't be spending any money out of hand or out of pocket too, because like between all this other stuff, I keep any cash that I get, $20 or higher, in a box, and then I kind of use that as splurge money. And I have like $360 in there right now, so it wouldn't have been anything out of my account. But I was like, you know what? I could probably find better things or wait for a better deal. Okay, so the fingers here, I'm going to do this like this, I think. So at this point, it's probably this point actually, the fingers need to be turned up. Actually, it's not even that. I think it's just this one. Now in a bit. But they're still going to clip. So this is when it needs to be turned by. Let's say by this. Okay. It's just this one. Still a little bit in the end there, so we'll do a little higher. I'm going to just drift this off a little bit more. Okay, and when does this one hit? I'll say right here. I don't have to do it like right here when it starts, because it'll start moving before then. Right there. Okay, that finger is going way up for no reason, so we're going to fix that. Yeah. Well, actually, the reason I just get excited is that because I really want to find a nice place to go to, I really want to save the money. So, like, taking $600 out of every paycheck to lock away. I was doing $500, but then I decided to do $600. Is a hefty chunk, but it's satisfying to see it go over. Because for a while there, I was paying. My student loans used to be $350 a month, but I was paying $800 a month on them just to get rid of them, and I paid that off in the summer. And since then was when immediately when that was gone, I took everything that I was being saved for that plus more, and have been pushing it right into savings, so that I can get my savings built back up and I can get a nice place. So because that's just, I don't know, I just kind of want a place of my own, so not just rental. yeah, I need to worry about the physics here. So I'm going to delay this leg getting there. Oh, actually, I can just do both. Fuck it. You know what? I wonder if I can just do left leg, left leg. We're going to say when you hit here, that has to happen then. But until then, so this is where you hit your peak. Everything else can just be delayed. So I'm just like this time, and feet hit here, so that has to happen. No, actually that can, I'm going to delay it a little bit. We're going to do that. We're going to say legs. Yeah, I used to be so frugal with money that it's been where I've been trying to make myself buy certain things. Like I would always save up for like Black Friday sales and do like computer upgrades and stuff. Like this year I did more than I normally would. Like some other games, like I don't wait as much for like super big sales. If it's a good sale, I'll just grab it because I'm comfortable and I have the money to do it, so I will enjoy it. My if everything goes as I'm wanting for work, I have to talk with my boss coming up here in a week or so. But my goal is to get like because I had a promotion that was supposed to go through in August and it's been delayed, so I should be able to get back pay for a good chunk to last August with a double-digit pay increase for, or a very large pay increase. So I'm looking forward to that. Push this out one frame. We're going to take the feet. Oh, I probably should do it like that. I'll have to speed that up because that's a little bit awkwardly timed. Actually, I don't have as much problems with it anymore. I hit a little bit of a problem for a little while, but like I've always been pretty good at saving, but then I had a very rough time in my life, what was it? Probably about 9 years ago now, where I was down to like $20 to my name, and I was living with my parents, and it was like I had to like go super frugal, and it's so I'm now good. I'm having a good balance where when we go shopping for groceries, it's not about buying the cheapest thing. We'll go nicer things or things that would be better, or we want to try, even though we're not sure if it's going to be good or not. But we don't go buying $40 steaks or something, but about just like spending a little bit more on a better thing. So I have like all the cool things I want. So like tech wise, I mean the only thing I thought about getting is a smartwatch, but even then, I'm just waiting for like a really nice sale on one of those. Okay, so this leg is now clipping a little bit because of my changes. Yeah, those legs need to be quicker. Okay, other things. Spikes, tail. So tail, 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 tail. This is actually going to be a little tougher. We're going to have to, because I wanted to do it in stages, but getting the timing down is going to be tough. I'm going to say I don't need these anymore. So I'm going to say that this is the center of one move, and we'll see if it works. Okay, wait, I had this backwards. So he's going this way. My brain was saying the other way. Actually, no, I'm going to figure out the timing first and then do this. Or figure out the rest. So this is going to be a little tighter again. I had that right. Okay, so that's going to be right for that. A little bit more. And then we'll say that this one is the tail going back the other way. Nope, a little longer. And then bouncing, they're hitting down. Building a PC is fun. I got my boss's kid and doing it too because I gave him all my old parts, and so then they went to Micro Center and got all the rest, and they put it together, and then he was like, I want to go again. And when I was talking to the Micro Center guys, he says that they used to be able to help people build their PCs, but then they had like a separate room. So he goes, it was great because like people would spend their money and I would go and have the fun of building the PCs. But then I guess they had a lawsuit go through because they did helping on a building a PC, and then somebody blamed them for something that didn't work, and it shut down the whole ability to do that. Now instead they have to charge people $100, and it's a special group that has to do it. So he goes, it used to be great for that, but now some people had to take all the fun away. Okay, so now this is going to go this direction. I'm just going to call that good. Well, you know what? It's going to be like this. Yeah. Okay, I'm just going to call that whatever. This is second frame. I think I might have had the other one at the wrong timing. It's fine. Okay, as long as you're saving something. If you're not saving, you're not getting anywhere. But yeah, you do need fun bucks. If you're not enjoying your money, then what's the point of having it? Oops. So this is what I'm going to say is that he's tensing muscles, so this is going to bend. The other way? Ooh, not that much. Okay, I want to get the audio figured out a little bit more for this. So band sounds. Okay, so I need to have a sound from when he first hits the thing, like his foot hitting it. So this will be audio bits. Actually, I'll turn on the music a little bit, but I'm going to turn that down because I don't want to have it be super loud for people. I don't know where I just typed that, but okay. not quite that. Actually, I think... Oh, no, that one. Where go back? Oh, something else loaded. Oh, no. No, bullet impact. No. Too much side stuff. No. Is there like a medium version of that? There we go, hold on. That could work. There, that sounds right. I have to be careful. He's still partially in camera here. Oh, sorry. I don't think I have one. That work? It sounds like a depressed whale or like a just for a sheep. Here's Spike. That sounds right. No, I don't do Spyro versus Spike. Because that means I have to make something with Spike. This is how Spike should sound in every episode. Every time he opens his mouth. Yep, that is Spike. That is wrong. That's what it is. We're gonna get rid of that. Oh, I guess we can get rid of that one then. You know, it's better than having 2 spikes, or having 3 spikes. Having 2 spikes. The less we have, the better. This should probably be a little quieter. Let me turn this back up then. Good song. Oh, actually I do need to do one more. The nice thing, I love the Stanley Parable's footsteps on carpet. All it is a very soft, like, shh, and there's a whole bunch of them. So if you need a sound of just something because something is happening and you're not sure what to do, like just general movement, like it could be like the rustle of clothing. It covers so much stuff. I love it. Okay, so the other thing I have to do here is Spike is now walking on metal. So, alright, I am definitely going to turn it down for this one. Impact metal is something that scares me. Okay, that's like an object. Yeah, let's just say footsteps metal. Oh, or even better, we can crash. Because why not? Ed and Eddie. You know, I've been trying to think of because I've been doing. I'm not sure what I said last. I've been doing bits with like pinking the brain and stuff, taking audio from other things and making something from it, and that would be, I think, one that would be fun to work with. Okay, well we still have Spike. Yes, that makes sense. This is actually pretty fitting. There we go. Phantom of the Opera starring Spike. Actually, I love the music from Phantom of the Opera. I listened to it on repeat at work like last week. Or was it early? I think it was earlier this week. Actually, I think it was Monday or Tuesday. No, I love Phantom of the Opera. Actually, the New York show came to Minnesota about 2 or 3 years ago, and an old coworker contacted me because they knew I liked that, and so we actually went to go see it. It was great. Andrew Lloyd Webber is a genius. Anyway, so we can get rid of Spike here. I should save it before I actually like lose the autosave. I was waiting for a sudden like. All right, so save to make sure that's saved, and now the steps. Okay, so we're going to grab this one. We're going to turn the volume down because I'm pretty sure I don't want his footsteps to be that loud. So this one for sure. And there's, I have to be careful with that. His foot looks like it does a little shake there. Yeah, it does. I'll fix it. There's a rule in television. I can't with audio. I want to see if I can find it. It's just actually really good to remember. Let's see if I can find it. It was an actually very interesting graph. No, it's time of day. So what it was essentially stating is that how do you time your audio? And so it says, do you put the audio, do you time it to be spot on with how the lips move? Do you put the audio to be a little bit before the lips move, a little bit afterwards? Like, what is the range of that somebody sees as not being uncanny valley? And I wish I could find the graph because it actually is pretty fascinating. It was when I was really big into looking into research for like optimizing stuff. Usually with speech. I want a graph. Give me a graph. I would know it when I see it, but I'm not seeing it. So what it essentially stated is that if you're going to be presenting audio with something, that putting it where the audio is right on time with the lip movement is normally not the way to go. It actually doesn't always, it feels slightly uncanny valley. And if you put the audio anywhere before it at all, even by like a couple frames or anything, you immediately make it feels weird and it doesn't feel right. But if you delay it, usually by 1 or 2 frames, it can actually look better. And if you delay it by a lot of frames, you can delay it a lot more frames that direction and still not hit uncanny valley as much as you can the other direction. It's like you could maybe go 1 or 2 frames before speech or the action, but you can go up to like 6 or 7 past it. And so it was like, well, why is it that we can go one direction but not the other? And the assumption was that it's the cause and effect bit. So by evolution or whatever, our brains are able to know that if you speak, audio comes afterwards, and that there might be a distance or a delay because it's not an instantaneous thing, that you might get the sound later, or there will be a delay from when it leaves somebody's mouth to get to you, even if it's very, very tiny. But you shouldn't get the audio before the action. So our brains are programmed to allow a gap for that audio to hit us, but not the other direction. And so if you in television, if you mistime it and you put it a little bit earlier, it feels really, really weird. So normally television just play it safe and delay it a little bit, and it ends up looking better that way. So I try to do it where if you're going super slow through here like this, and you could say like, okay, his foot hit right here, so I'm going to put the audio right when his foot hits. It's not going to look right. It even kind of feels like it happens before it now. So I've been trying to do it where if I see it, this is where it would hit, I put it there, and then I'll like delay it like 2 frames. That might be a little too much, just 1 frame. And it feels better. But the graph was fascinating because it was like, this is when the sound happened and this is when the action happened. And then it said, this is the before part, and it was like immediate spike downwards. But then the after part was like this gradual slope of where people would start saying it was feeling weird. It was just things you don't think about. But it works that where if you're not sure, just put it a teeny bit afterwards, because then you're safe. So. But normally when I try to put the audio in here, it's also just play it. Does it feel right? Because the uncanny valley is a feeling thing. So if I were to move these like this, and now it feels kind of weird, and I'll be like, okay, no, that's not right. What if I put it the other direction? And actually, that's not that bad. So what if I put it just right there? Still feels a little bit wrong. Now that feels right. So it's about just you trying to find that bit where it just doesn't feel awkward anymore. And it's not too hard to just slide things around and say which is the better option. Slide it to the right of 3 and slide it to the left 3. Which one feels less weird? Okay, then maybe you need to shift it a little bit that way. Alright, see you later, Skylight. Thanks for coming by. Even this one still feels a little late. I'm gonna keep it, but I think even that, because his foot clips through it, it just kind of feels a little weird at first. So here it's like, it may be when he actually hit, but when does it when does it feel like he hit? Well, it feels like he hit it more around here. So I'm just gonna keep it there. This is also why I have tended to sometimes do the audio in post. Like I'll load up some of this, these audio bits in After Effects, because that I'm playing with the actual render and not an engine that might be messing with me. So it's easier to time. Okay, that one I don't know how to time yet. Okay, he does place a foot here. So I am going to load a track, but I'm going to make it... That sounds like an off note. I'm going to make it quieter than the rest. And this is a little bit harder because, like, he's running, but he's not on hollow metal. He might be running on a metal floor, but a metal floor that's a grate sounds different than a metal floor that is perfectly solid. So here... Yep. So he has different solid metals. Why is it so big? I already did 4. I have 4 and 8, and I out of 8, and I pulled the wrong one. So these, I'm gonna really have to play with the time a little bit. So he's coming from a distance, so I'm going to put 0.1, 0.15, 0.2. Too quiet, so I'm going to bump that up a little bit. So I'm going to do 0.2, 0.25, 0.3. There we go. So it does sound different now. Alright, now back to the actual, like, animating thing. So, Spike at the end here goes to grab it. Is his hands clipping? Oh yeah, I adjusted him coming in from a stronger angle. So yeah, he does have his hands. Is the brain already up? Where's the brain? Oh, it is up. Okay. Let's see if this actually blends. That's a meme I miss. The Will It Blend guy, he was great. It was all advertisements, but it was advertisements that actually were worth watching. So we can fix these feet. It's Spike. He does what he's told because he got this look.
Now grab the brake.
I don't know why, but I just like that look. It's just like a, you do it or I will murder you.
Got a brain. Woo!
Your eyes suddenly drift. Oh, that is not a good thing. Too late now, though. The root got mixed in with that transformation. It's just gonna make things a little more difficult in some ways. Durr. Oh no, it's actually not that bad to offset. You just lock the pelvis as it is. Like, say I did this. So, because right now the pelvis has done movement. So I guess I can undo it. It's just, never know. So the pelvis has movement all the way up to what it's doing here. If I lock it, then I just grab root and I say, okay, well now the root stays as it was at this moment. Boom. Now I go back to my pelvis, unlock. It's just, it can be, and this one was easy, but I've had some stupid ones that just were not as easy to fix. And normally, like, whatever, if the final result's the same, who cares? The main reason that it's annoying is because like the eyes are tied to that, other things are tied to that, and suddenly if you go to do one change, the other change could affect it. It just gets messy. Yeah, I thought so. You want to give him a little more whiplash, actually. Yeah, that feels better. More impact. I'm not hurting Spike. Spike is tripping. It's an accident. There's nothing malicious about this at all. Hey, he got down, but he got up again. Nobody's gonna keep you down. Look at that, he's fine. I might have him do a quick shake of the head. If that's the case, then I need to have his eyes open upon completion of the shake. Looks like he's looking too low. What is he? Where is the target? Oh, behind him. That would not be what I want him looking at. Oof. Actually, I did that wrong. Oh, wait. To here. I did. I wish those wings were blue. That'd work pretty good. Okay, up until then, right here, probably want to have Spike, like, keep his head down a little bit. Because he's supposed to be looking at where he's going. His eyes can't go any lower. Wonderful. Pink winged rainbow. I don't know. Maybe she likes the color purple. Like a different horse. Open my mouth any. Open it wider, but it's not opening the back of the mouth. That's where I'm looking. Thinking that, like, this arm pushes off by here. I'm gonna have the right shoulder stick up a bit more. This, I think, is going to be the other hard part. I think I'm gonna have him actually like spin in place. Like, I think I might even just keep it like that. I'll probably have the brain. Actually, I can have the brain included in this. It's the instant upgrade now. That's great. Okay, and actually, one thing I want to look up is what does it look like when like the video animation portion of it? So it doesn't even show him, it shows it above his head. So should I have it focus more on that? And then it did like the text on here. Okay, and the thing is I can actually do this like in SFM. So, and I kind of want to now because that'd be fun. So we're gonna keep that for now. So we're gonna do this. We're going to open up our Photoshop. What font is that? So let's see here. Nope, that's I already closed it, didn't I? I did. Oh no, it's right here. So that's not what I'm looking for. That looks like it's going through like whole language changes. I could do Wind Wakers. Oh, oh no, that is... Yeah, I can do that. This one, I am going to need to make it in 4K, just because when I render it, I need to make sure it's in the top end. So, I don't want an actual background. So, I can't actually delete the last layer. Apparently not. So we want that. Gone. Okay. Then this showed, it was like a blue or an oval of some sort. And actually, I will put a white background just so I have something. So we need an oval. Kinda. That is not very rounded. That's rounded. I bet you it's because that number. Oh, okay. But that is very rounded, so we're going to go with 250. Maybe a little less. We'll do 200. We'll go to about that big. Sure. There's a border on this. I don't want a border. Color-wise, just like a deepish, like navy blue. Probably a little deeper than that. Yeah, that looks good. Alright. Then we need... Let's do the text now. So we have... Come on. Can't type, I guess. And then there's like a little thing there, so we need like a little clip art of some brain. That one works. I wanted something a little bit sideways. That is a link. But it shows the white there, so it means that there's white there no matter what. So we want to go to the... Oh, there you go. Okay, pretty big right now. There we go. Let's do that backwards. Just like a little line straggler that kind of floats behind. Let's just get rid of that. Now I want to selected mask. I want to shift the edge in. Where's my output? No, it's not that output. I'm looking for views. There we go. There we go. It also said press start with start in all caps. I'm gonna put that in there for fun too. How do you put that by default? That's actually kind of neat, but no. Go away, I don't want you. My Guitar Hero. Like I read Blurtablast first, and it just said, "Hi, I'm a future Guitar Hero." I'm like, "No, you're not." Okay. So how's it going, Guitar Hero? Okay, I think that should work. If anything, it might be a little big. I think it might be taking up too much screen space. We'll go with that. Oh, you do? Actually, if you know exactly the font, that'd be great. I tried looking it up, and I just found the Wind Waker, and I was like, yeah, that actually works. If you had the Ocarina of Time, that would be awesome. Because I think that one, for me, gives a little bit more feeling to it. Oh, perfect. Aha, okay. Churro standard. Well, thank you very much. I mean, I didn't really look very hard. But I will take it. And where did it hide it? Oh, it's FOT. Okay. Perfect. I think that's a little bit more. I don't think it's compressed. I think it's just low quality of the video or the old bits. Because of that, I can move this over a little further, this over a little further. Oh, let's get it back a little bit there. I'll probably compress this a bit more then. Yeah, whatever. And then move everything over. Where's my center line? Is that my center line? I don't see the big center line. Good enough. I don't know, is that center? I don't think it's center. Where's my line? Oh. I'll make that as believable center. Okay. I think that font's a bit big now. God damn it, stop making logarithms. Jesus Christ. Oh, actually, oh yeah, actually that's fine. So save as. Also fix my bar so it doesn't do stupid things. Just right click down here and then expand to current folder. That's all it took, and I just struggle with it forever because I'm lazy as hell. This is going to be a... It's not a gobo. This is going to be a... I think I just called it overlays. Yes. So this is going to be a bump mat. We're not a... I think I can save it as a PNG. So this is going to be... tells you all the brain, whatever. Oh. Yeah, the 240p resolution. I actually thought of like just lower the resolution on that just to make it look similar, but I'll have to see what it looks like. That's fine, don't want to use it for that anyway. I'm so lazy with opening VTF, I just open up other things. And I don't think these have to have the VMTs. I think these are like the others where you don't need it. It's like gonna crash before. It does? That's awesome. Well, really, that makes sense to me. Why increase the processing power needed to render text? Why not just keep it rendered low? It's not going to matter. Some of those old games, though, like, I don't think that... this isn't VMTs. This does need a VMT. So this is fruitless. No, I don't think that. I think it kind of ruins it. I like it having it. That's one of the things. If you have played the original Nintendo games on Switch, like the emulated ones that they have, if you have like the Nintendo subscription, they actually did an amazing job of making it so that it looked like it was on a CRT. Like the pixels, it looks legitimately good. We played through, me and a friend played through all of Super Mario Brothers 3, 2-player. He kicked my ass because apparently he was addicted to that thing and did way more in it than I did. There it goes. I tried playing this on my laptop, and I can't preview play anything. And is my laptop not strong enough? You should be able to preview. I mean, you might have to turn some stuff off. I had a laptop that was absolute shit, and I had SFM on it. I couldn't do much more than preview like a pony standing in the stage, because even that was low frame rate, but it did work. So if you're trying to like do a super complicated scene, yeah, maybe it is. There we go. I don't see anything though. I believe there's an issue with it. Actually, translucent's not going to make that fade, is it? No, it's not. I might have to do that in post. Oh, actually it did! I did not think that was going to work. Okay. I do have to... I'm going to definitely buff that lighting out. Oh. So let's go back to this. What kind of lighting did it use? Nothing. It just... Oh, it spins! I need to make it spin. Priorities. Okay, the one thing that's going to suck is this overlay is going to be there all the time now. I guess I can shut it on and off, but still. Kind of wanted to stop it there, like that's the end of the video. It was right there. Actually, I think I have an idea. Oh, I don't have the MLP theme. Okay, anything. I agree. Just don't kill me. I thought I had the MLP theme. I guess I'll skip. Let's be careful. I have it tied to his hands. Oh, I can... Actually, I don't think I can spin it the way I want to. Just because it's... Well... No, I can. Anyway, it'll be from that position, but... I thought I locked it to his... root. Well, I did. Kind of. Because I don't want to put animation on animation. Well, actually, I don't know. Arms. This is your... I did it to your right hand, I believe. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna have to just slack it to it, or... So I think I originally just... I think I'm just gonna go in. No, because even that goes weird. Actually, that might work. I'm kind of okay with that, actually. It's gonna float, so I don't care how he gets it up there. So goes. Oh, he moves. It moves too fast here, so I'm gonna go like this, maybe. Still fucking with his brain. Slow down, brain. You're too quick. What direction is this spinning? Counterclockwise from the top. That's so stupid. I think I'm gonna give that a little more time too. I think I originally cut it off, yeah. Oh, it feels like I actually can't. I'm gonna take 2 seconds off of it. I don't know what that was for, but we're going to put it there anyway. I have a feeling that the audio itself is only of so long. I like your cuts there. Oh, sorry, a heads up. I got our tickets today for March. So you are aware. We are all good to go. I probably want to put some kind of light under this. Yes. And I'm guessing it'd be better if it was like slightly gold. And then underneath. And only hitting the brain. I don't want it hitting Spike. Because, again... Oh, well, I can't do shadows, that's it. I can only hit the brain, and Spike doesn't have one. And actually, this might be better to do from behind. Which actually makes lighting it because a little bit more difficult, but I'll manage. So first I'm going to get rid of Spike. I'm actually going to probably put two lights. One here. That has two good songs in a row. I really like this one too. I originally had a video planned for this song using Bluebird's song. Fanfic that I really like. Hello, Fane. Alright, I also want to make it feel like it is slightly glowing itself, which to do that then I need a top light shining like this. Okay, it still looks a little dark from the front, so we're going to shift it down a little bit. Still a little bit. How does it look with Spike? So it's going to hit him in the face, which I don't want, but I can fix that. So probably should have set these lights up to be like this to begin with. Okay. So this one is probably going to be cut on. Right there. Yep, not seeing any impact. Camera's not going to move, so who cares? there. And then this will be cut off. Okay, I need to figure out what lights are like cutting in and out on him. I think that the fan is center light. That's I mean in this one. Did I get my blue? Rid of my blue underlight? No, actor low angle. There it is. Is that the one that's doing it? Yeah. So that light should be hitting him even when he's here. So why isn't it? Okay, so it looks like it's a low or a min distance issue. Yeah. So let's see if that fixes it. Okay, it does, but I also don't want it hitting him so strongly from that far away. So I'm gonna bring down the narrow margin. Okay, so that works. But now he's still got a dark here. Is shadows enabled? No. So if you've got a light hitting you from below, oh, it's probably at an angle. No. It's just further that way. So I have to move to like here. But that's going to light the brain on the bottom, which is going to make it different from when it was visible here. There's actually red lights on that. I got to fix that. Ah, I have to be careful with that. It's now entering the... Actually, just kind of having it cut on with light here is interesting. But it's hitting his eyes. Which to fix that, this turn the shadows on this one. Voila. Actually, I can turn the shadows on all these. Fixed. She's not a Zambi. She's just a Twilight. Hi, Michael. I prefer the brain being darker underneath. Can I... But it's really needed. I can... I might just leave it and say whatever. I mean, I could decrease its brightness, or I could take its level and like cut it right at the base there, but then his feet would be potentially hovering in dark. I mean, it shouldn't be. It goes well. We got this one mostly done.
You got a brain!
Well, I should probably change the focus on this. So what I might do is when he goes and gets into this position, and it's right here, I wonder if I should have it be where the camera focal distance would be on the brain. All right, there. Yep. But then have a very high aperture. Only thing I think it could be difficult with doing it that way is the motion of it's going to cause slight blur, and I'm thinking that might cause more difficulties in seeing it. So I might just do that. So everything's pretty in focus here, but then it'll go more blurrier. Because I was thinking maybe going for like a tilt shift kind of look, but yeah, I don't think it's going to work. Oh, I do camera settings all the time. I used to, and I haven't done it in a while. I used to play with the SSAO bias, strength, and radius. I actually had saved values I used to use. I'm pretty sure it was something like getting ready to take off. I think it was like increasing bias by quite a. Oh, actually, I can't do it from there. Bias by a lot. Strength by a little, and then reduce the radius, if I remember right, which led to that difference. So it made sharper shadows on these edges, but kept them yeah, so it pulled the shadows into smaller areas to give it, I think, that more cartoony look. But it's been a while since I've used that kind of shadowing. I've been doing it with just the defaults lately. Yes. Bloom actually has its uses too. You can make lights just really pop with it, or if, like, say you're going to do a green screen effect and you're going to cut something out, well, this bloom right here might actually cause problems for your green screen, so putting the bloom all the way down would allow it to be better and easier to cut. But I think bloom is super important. But you can, and I did it previously, you can render one out with all the bloom and then render one out with all the lights off with the green screen cutting out what you want, and then use that green screen in After Effects as a masking layer. I just learned how to do that a couple months ago, or like a month ago. Less than a month ago. Yeah, if you really have control of your lighting environment, you can do some really cool things with lights. Like, there is a texture in the models. Called light warp. It's a super thin texture, just a line of it, and it essentially says from dark to light, how is light go, or how does light transition that distance? Is it going to be gradual? How gradual? Like, this one is black to like a gray, so staying on the lower end. But if you go to like TF2, they actually have colors in there, so to try to give that cartoony, unique look that they have. But if you were to cut this in half and do black and then completely cut it in the middle, make it the rest of it white, you're essentially not giving it a smooth lighting around a surface anymore. You're trying to make it super harsh and on a line. And if you start playing with like lights that have, say for instance, let's make a light here. So if you take a light and you keep the shadows on, and you put it to like super low shadow bits. And some you can get these the harsh shadows that are going to be the nice lines for kind of a cartoony outline. Where's my light again? There you are. Which can be neat. If you want to actually have it cut on the model better, you can go to shadow depth bias, and if you put that all the way down, you can get a really sharp line, well, sharp-ish. Probably not the best model to be showing that on, but you can get even the shadows to be sharp to the model, or sharper. And if you do that with like say with this one, if I wanted to make this one pure red, you can create some unique looks. My TV shut off. Very artistic or stylistic approaches for stuff. So, and if you look up some of the videos from Zachariah Scott, he has some that played around with the lighting like that. It's kind of difficult to make the cartoony type lighting, but if done right, you can create a very unique effect within SFM. So it just takes a little bit of playing around. I originally had been trying to do it to see like I was using the Aku model, and I was trying to see like could I make something that looks Samurai Jack esque in terms of its like sharp lines and lighting within SFM, and I kind of hit a point of no, because I was trying to utilize the actual map's lighting by modifying an actual map itself to do it, but I ended up not liking the results and just skipping on it. But yeah, you can give like some really cool. I mean, I think that alone. I mean, this isn't even with. You can just turn the shadows up there if you want. I think what helps here is these are already kind of a cartoony looking kind of model. I can't remember what those are from. But yeah, I do have a tutorial video I made that covers how to use lights in that, what all of these sliders do, and how to get access to all of them using the Uber, and like what all those do. And yeah, I don't like hammer. If you want a fun, here's a fun one. I've said this before, but I think it's a great tip for people. How to make artificial bump maps with lights. So if you know what a bump map is what makes this brain look like it's it has all these like details to it, even though it's technically just a perfectly flat texture around the edge. So the engine is telling it how do you render the lighting around that surface to give the effect that it has a lot more definition. Well, you can actually, not perfectly, but in some situations are able to give an artificial type version of that. So like, let's say, and I have to get something that's a little bit better lighting, and we only have 8 minutes left, so I am going to just save, close. I'm just gonna open up a stage. I'm gonna use Celestia for this because she's white, and that makes it easier to show what I'm trying to do. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna add a light. I'm gonna save this because it's my crash. I'm gonna add a light, and what we're gonna do, so we're gonna modify this light a little bit. So first off, I need to find something else that I want to like put on her to give that effect. So I'm gonna add a gobo. If you haven't done that before, it's a light itself. That circle is being caused because the light is shining technically in every direction, 180 degrees in front, all sides of the camera. The texture is technically keeping that light focused to whatever that texture is, and the texture shape is this round circle. You can change that shape. You can even make it go to the infinite light directions. It's just not as useful as you think it is. So I'm going to go in here and I'm just going to look up... I knew it was going to crash. I'm going to look up like some kind of a crack. And we'll see if we can add like... Well, actually, no, wait, I have the blood splatter. That's what I'll use. That's what I've used for examples before. Because I've used this in actually a final version of something I used it with afterwards. Alright. So I'm going to go set light gobo, and I'm going to look up blood, and there's some other user mod I'm looking for. Even that one before would work. Let me figure out what the name is. It's just called blood? Yeah, it's just called blood. Okay, well. I guess. Oh, there it was. Oh, that's Half-Life 2. There we go. Hey, this one's a little bit higher texture. So by doing this now, the light itself is this texture. So I can go and I'll just put that on her butt. See, she got hit here. And the nice thing about this is that oh, so like it's going through. I'm just going to drop my shadow attenuation to 0. And that's not going to go through anymore. This is really bright. I don't want that. So we're going to say blood is red, so we're going to change this to red. Now the problem here is that you're going to be like, well, it's glowing red. I don't want light red. I want it to be a much darker red. So, okay. It's too light. Well, let's go the opposite here. So we're going to go and give this a negative value. So we're going to go to negative 50. So you can actually make a light negative. Now when I do that, negative or inverts everything. So red is suddenly going to become green. We don't want that. We want red. So invert the color. So what's the opposite of red? Red at 0 and all the rest at max. There, now you got red. And now that actually looks like a much more legitimate looking blood. And if you go more negative on the intensity, it's not going to really help too much. You're just going to look for like what detail. So let's say that looks pretty good. So now we got a blood spray. And the nice thing about this is that if you were to modify the texture, you would lose a lot of detail because of the stretching. But if I do this, now it looks like she's actually got hit and it's sprayed. So that's one nice thing. But so let's go and give let's give this a little extra detail though. So a bump map is essentially just a normal texture that when light hits it, lights up one edge and darkens the other in a very immensely simple fashion. So let's do that on here. So I'm going to take this texture, or this one, and I'm just going to copy it and paste it. So now I have 2 of them. But I'm just going to take this one and I'm going to move it just a teeny bit to the bottom. So if sometimes these little teeny movements are going to like bounce back or be hard to do. So I'm just going to move it in a direction, and then if you do, well, the floating modification layer is still there. If you just drop, you can it'll slide back. You just kind of slide it to that little bit. And then we're just going to essentially darken this one. And in this case, darkening it is going to be choosing a or just reducing the color, because black would be this. So we're just going to reduce this until we kind of get something that looks pretty good. So we're going to go like that. And then we're going to go back to this and we're going to lighten that one up a little. We'll balance it out. So now it's kind of giving a feeling that this is actually a little bit more three-dimensional. And you could actually modify that texture to make it look exactly like that on the texture. But the nice thing about doing it this way is that wherever your light source is, you can adjust this. So you can say like, well, now my light source, instead of, like, this is showing it's coming from below. Well, I'm going to move it so that it's coming from above. Now it feels like the lights, or no, now it's actually still looks like it's coming from below. What am I talking about? Now it looks like the light's coming from above. So it's pretty neat for that. And if you wanted to, you could go another like level from that and like say I want to give a darker edge to the bottom. You could start playing around with that. Yeah, it's actually but like the one picture that I recently did for it was this one. So I used it to make the blood effect here. The walls were like pre-made models that I put there, but to have it spray on her to make it with decent detail. Plus I could use on this one the shadow to actually make it so that it didn't go past the leg. So yeah, that really helped for being able to do that. An effect, a version of it from video. The end of this one. So like here, these were gobo lights that I just locked to a hose because the screw doing actually having to worry about it. So right here, this on the ground is not a modified texture. This is literally just the overlaid fake looking lights. I didn't like it looked up close, but it worked on the other part. So this is a standard one in the middle, and then I put a darker one pushed towards the light, and then another, the lighter version of it pushed away from the light. And so that it made it look like the light was coming from the top of the screen. And then from this angle though, that's the way it looked. So there's no actual bump. It's just like a fake light bump map. The problem with this is that as it went further away, the details dropped. So it started getting harder and harder to see. So the actual video has the lights pulling apart so that it could maintain that three-dimensional look from a distance as the angle got lower and lower. So, and even then you can still see some of the errors that popped up with it, but I didn't care because it was the only option that worked for me at the time. So, but yeah, that's an actual real example of making use of that. I don't think I did that sheet on any of the other ones. To make these footsteps, that's a negative light. There's like 25 negative lights, all just small little circles, and I just turn them on when he walks by. Makes it look like footsteps. Kind of a cheat. And even this one, if you wanted to make it three-dimensional, you could too, by just adjusting the lights to make it look like that had edges. That's a gobo light. And that very, very thin gobo light with the volumetrics that's super hair thin so that it looks like a floating light. And then when it goes to do this effect, it's just because I decreased the minimum to have the light come at the camera. But I'm not, and then this was also a gobo light on a surface, but I am not going to get into how I did that because that's going to take a lot longer. So, but that was probably one of my proudest troubleshooting moments. Anyway, yeah, Pinky blew up. It's fine. She's okay. She's okay. She's smiling. That usually means people are okay. Let's get Blood Butt out of here. So, anyway, it is 9 o'clock. So, I will be done though. So, thanks for coming and helping me get some stuff done. I probably should save this in case I ever need it again. Okay, whatever. Okay. Yep, thanks for coming and chatting. It's always fun. I will be streaming next Tuesday. There will probably be, potentially in like a week or two, there might be days where I might have to cancel just because I might have to work evenings, but I don't know if that's going to happen or not. We have a deadline at work, and I'm not working any extra hours unless it comes down to where I don't have a choice. So, but that'd probably be more on the weekends because I'm thinking I'd figure that out on like a Friday before. So, but that'll be later. So okay, thanks for coming and doing stuff. I don't have cat, so I can't give you cat. I'll give you the other cat. You can have that cat. There you go. Meow. I know. I'm sorry. There's nothing I can do. I don't even have a stuffed cat to give you. I have nothing. You have this one. That's it. I'm sorry. You can pretend. So, okay. Have a good one, guys. Bye-bye. Have a good weekend.